Oh, signore. Signore, souvenir.
No, thanks.
Change money. Sightseeing.
No.
Vatican, House of Mussolini's girlfriend.
I've seen them all.
Look here.
What is it?
Missing right elbow of Venus de Milo. Very rare.
Too bad I'm looking for the left one.
Good afternoon, Senorina Stewart. I have your ticket ready. From Rome to New York. Wish I were going.
Oh, I wish I was staying here. I love it.
I think you'll find everything in order. All I need is your passport number.
I have it right here.
Oh, lost your passport once?
No. Why?
Well, this was issued by the United States Embassy in London.
Oh, I haven't been back to the United States since 1938.
Oh, you must have been a little girl.
No, 16. No use cheating when you're looking at the date of my birth.
Buongiorno, Signor Lawrence.
Anything for me today?
I think so. L, Lawrence. Lawrence David.
Right.
Prego.
Your plane departs tomorrow at 10 a.m. The bus to Ciampino Airport leaves from here 8:30 pronto. That's very early.
Oh, I'll be here. Grazie, signore. You've been very kind.
Prego. Have a nice trip.
Oh, scusi.
If your scusi means do I mind your smoking, the answer's no.
Thank you. Yeah, first flight?
How do you know?
You forgot to unfasten your safety belt.
Oh. They shouldn't have done it. Never have so few frightened so many.
Who?
The Wright brothers. As far as I'm concerned, they should have invented something else. See what I mean?
Che cosa c'è? Cosa è successo?
Sounds like a fuel pump.
How can you tell?
I'm an engineer. We'll probably have to come down at the nearest airport. Nothing to be alarmed about, though.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, we're having a little engine trouble. One of our fuel pumps is out of order. Please. It is nothing serious. Just keep your seats and fasten your safety belts. We will land in Naples for our repairs. Thank you.
Pleased with yourself?
I'm pleased that I'll see Naples.
The Italians say, see Naples and die. I didn't see it. There wasn't time.
But never is.
Safety belt.
Cioccolata, signorina, cioccolata.
Come si chiama?
Renato.
Oh, sorry, Ronaldo, no cioccolata. Cioccolata and bagaglio. Bagaglio in aeroplano è triste. Quanti anni? Oh.
Not only the fuel pump, they have to replace the gasket.
Really? He says his name is Ronaldo, he's 9 years old, and next year he wants to go to America and become a cowboy.
Grazie, signorina, grazie.
Bene. That exhausts my Italian.
Don't be so modest. You can say scusi.
Attenzione! Partenza per Lisbona in 20 minuti.
He says we'll be leaving in 20 minutes.
Italian minutes. It'll take American mechanics at least 2 hours.
Oh, then we've just about time.
What are we waiting for?
Signorina, se tu mi dai le gazzette scritte, te la cambierò con molta cioccolata.
What's he talking about?
He says he can get lots of chocolate from Islands. Would you be embarrassed?
We'll pretend we don't know you. Rinaldo. We want to go to Naples. 5,000 lira. 5 grand.
Lira, bar, cigarette, fountain pen, wristwatch.
Look, we're in a hurry. 5 times too much isn't enough. What do you want?
Here, let me try. Don't you want us to see the most beautiful city in the world, Bellissima Napoli? Oh, prego, please.
Okay, lady. For you, 5,000 lira.
I don't seem to have the right approach.
I've been wondering how you looked when you smiled. I like it. By the way, my name's Menina Stewart.
I'm David Lawrence.
Arrivederci, signorina.
Oh, grazie, Rinaldo. And next time I'll have chocolate and a bar of soap.
Economy size.
What does that mean?
You mean to say you're an American, never heard of large economy size?
Well, I haven't been back since I was a girl.
Naples, James.
Arrivederci, arrivederci, arrivederci.
Wait.
That's the volcano. Mount Vesuvius, great point of interest.
Ever since I was a little girl, I've wanted to spit in a volcano.
Drive from here is not far.
Not far. Vesuvius, 4 hours. Capri, 2. Pompeii, 1. I take you there.
Unfortunately, all the time we have is 83 minutes.
Let's use them. Come on.
Drive on.
Signore, del mazzo di fiori per la bella signorina? Frutta fresca. Fiori, fiori signore. Un bel mazzo di fiori per la bella signorina? Frutta fresca. Frutta fresca?
Ravioli con salsa and Chianti and music and Vesuvius all in the middle of the day. Makes me feel very special.
Finito. What do you say we have another?
6 if we have time.
42 minutes. Signora,
Sì, signore.
un'altra bottiglia Chianti.
Sì, signore, sì. Un'altra bottiglia Chianti.
Your approach is improving.
What about my Italian?
Like a native?
2 months in Italy. I learned 2 words, 2 hours with you. I'm a linguist.
Well, I like to talk to people.
Should have met you sooner.
Ecco il vino. Provi questo. That's a Caruso specialità. I remember when I was a young girl, Caruso once he cooked lasagna for all guests. And then he paid it for everybody. Buono, eh?
Excellente.
Americano?
No, me Italiano. What are you?
Oh, me Chinese.
Husband and wife?
No, we're brothers.
Oh, capito. You stay here. I give you nice room and good food. And take a nice excursion to Capri. Come to Napoli. And don't say Capri is no good. Capri is bellissimo.
Sounds wonderful. Unfortunately, we have to go back to America.
To be so near Capri and not to see it, it's so cruel.
Tourists. Coming and gone. Always in a hurry. Why do you come here if you're always in a hurry?
I came to Florence to visit a friend.
And I had to put some distance between myself and me.
Like a painting, you can see it better if you stand back.
Now I know where I saw you before. In the travel office yesterday.
And you were engrossed in a letter.
For my wife.
You want to see this?
What?
An American officer left them to me. And he never come back. No Monte Cassino. Poveretto. La guerra.
All alone by the telephone.
I used to dance to that.
Over there. Lillimar Lane. You can almost tell what sort of man he was. Oklahoma. Oh, pass the ammunition. Oh, and here's a favorite of mine.
Let's play it.
When I was a young man courting the girls, I played me a waiting game. If a maid refused me with tossing curls, I'd let the old earth take a couple of whirls, while I plied her with tears in place of pearls. As time came around, she came my way. As time came around, she came. But it's a long, long while from May to December, and the days grow short when you reach September, and the autumn weather turns the leaves to flame, and I haven't got time for the waiting game. For the days dwindle down to a precious few. September, November, these few precious days I'll spend with you. These precious days I'll spend with you. And the wine dwindles down to a precious brew. September, November, these few vintage years I'll share with you. These vintage years I'll share with you.
Beautiful.
Very. Of course, you're much too young to appreciate the words.
I hope so. Well, you see Naples.
Well, apologize to the Italian mechanics.
I'm very sorry.
Oh, don't be silly. It was my fault as much as yours, and besides, Naples was worth it.
Cabled them to hold the plane at Madrid and charter another to get us there.
Yes, sir. What is it?
I was just thinking, don't misunderstand me now. What I'm going to say is not very conventional, but I was just thinking of Pompeii and Capri. It'd be wonderful if we could spend a few days there together. I mean, the way we've spent the past 2 hours.
Oh, it would be nice. And frankly, I'd love to, but I'm going to America for a concert, and well, it's terribly important to me.
Oh, I understand perfectly. Singer?
Pianist.
Famous?
Ever heard my name before?
No.
Oh, there's your answer. The concert's a month away, and I'm scared of it, and oh, the world's in an awful mess, and I may never get back here. Let's be unconventional.
Well, let's be unconventional.
Now we are on top of a watchtower. There you see Vesuvius and a general view of Pompeii. Over there is the amphitheater. Over there, the triumphal arch of Nero and Caligula. The erupting Vesuvius covered this elegant city with its lava, preserving it so that many centuries later we may see with our own eyes the splendor of the Roman Empire. And here you will see one of Pompeii's bakery shops. There is the round oven, where 24 loaves of bread were found, intact, well preserved. And here are the millstones, used to grind the grain. Typical Pompeian street. Stepping stones were laid for the benefit of the people to keep their feet dry during rainy weather. The space between the stones left enough room for the chariots to pass. Now see the magnificent statue of Apollo, god of manly grace and beauty. See the perfect lines. It was made of bronze by a Greek artist. This is the Forum, the principal square in the center of the city, the square for the elections and the meeting place. Notice the portico all around it. See the interesting upstone, or as we say today, the keystones.
Look at that sunset.
They come here and talk about the sunset. Oh, Pompeii, and the thousands of slaves who built you, and the lava stone that preserved you, and the scientists who excavated you. Forgive them, for they are young, in love, and they are Americans.
Buongiorno, signore. Would you like to try it on?
I was thinking of something a little more conservative, maybe gray slacks and a white shirt.
But, signore, this is Capri.
Oh, I'm lucky fish.
Good morning, signor.
I thought I was going to surprise you. I got up at the crack of dawn. I have a feeling I look ridiculous.
You look just like the man I'd love to have breakfast with.
Ah, è bello. Ma la cosa più bella è l'eco della grotta. Vuoi provare?
What's he saying?
Well, it seems as respectable tourists we should try the famous echo. Now, think of something original.
That's easy.
Menina!
Oh, by the way, that's Italian. You're American.
Menina! Shut up!
Well, my name is Mary Ann.
Shut up!
Oh, he doesn't mean you.
But a long, long time ago, when I was a little girl, I couldn't pronounce Mary Ann, so I called myself Menina. I've been Menina ever since.
I'm David because my father was David, my grandfather was David, my
and your son, in case you have a son, is David, too. Yes.
Dovete andare a visitare la Grotta Azzurra. Mio fratello vi farà da guida.
Well, now what do you say?
Well, it seems as respectable tourist, we must also see the Blue Grotto because he has a brother there that's a guide.
Well, let us not disappoint his relatives.
This is the world-famous Blue Grotto. The sun's rays come in, not through the opening, but under the water, and fill the cave with this magical blue light. Adesso dovete fare una passeggiata al Monte Tiberio. Mio fratello vi noleggerà i cicci.
Well, he says it's our duty as respectable tourists also to climb Mount Tiberius because he's got a brother that rents donkeys.
Well, let's not disappoint his relatives.
Duck your heads. When it's high tide, can't come in, can't go out.
I wouldn't mind being stranded here.
When is the next high tide due? The Emperor Tiberius lived up there.
Oh, you've been studying behind my back.
Shall we try?
There must have been an easier approach.
I doubt it. The Emperor was afraid of assassins.
You go first, David. Oh, we made it.
To think when I was a boy, I wanted to be an explorer.
Oh, this was supposed to be the favorite hangout of Emperor Tiberius.
What did he do up here?
Well, he probably watched the sunsets and wondered if his wife was really above reproach. Oh, a plane full of punctual people.
Punctual because they haven't met you.
Sorry.
Oh, enormously. This is the best time I've had in years.
Sounds a little sad. What have you been doing?
I'm making money. It took me 16 years to build up my factory until it runs itself and raise a son whom I hardly ever see. I've kept busy all my life. Then one day I woke up and began to wonder, what's it all for? Where do I come in?
And then you decided to take a trip alone.
That's about it.
Transportation system is growing a little impatient.
Who do they think they are, horses?
Oh, you're a snob. Some of my best friends are donkeys. Oh, Mr. Engineer, what's the thing that makes us go up so slowly and down so fast?
Gravity.
Oh, what a lovely day. Thank you so much.
Didn't you say you came to Italy to visit a friend?
My old piano teacher. She's been like a mother to me.
Look, just one more thing. Will you do me a favor?
Yes?
Well, the next time I order spaghetti floating in butter, will you take the plate and pour it over my head?
If you insist.
There's no excuse for me puffing like an old locomotive just from climbing a little tower. From now on, it's going to be less food and more exercise for me.
Starting in the morning with a swim before breakfast.
Good.
All right.
Good.
Night.
Night.
Good night.
Good night.
You haven't said a thing for 15 minutes.
What do you want me to say?
Oh, something stupid, something to bore me.
Why?
We've been here for 2 days, and you haven't said a word or done anything I didn't like.
You ought to see me at the Bayshore Country Club. I'd be an awful boy in the proper surroundings.
You live in Bayshore?
You know, we spend our summers there. It's nothing like this.
If we had any sense at all, we'd go right back to Naples.
That was entirely premeditated.
I didn't think it was gravity. And I don't think we should make a habit of it.
I like the way you handle people, including myself.
We missed our plane, and you said, wouldn't it be wonderful to spend a few days in Capri as friends? Let's keep it that way. Come in.
Hello. I brought with me an old Capri remedy for sunburn. Here, put it right here. Thank you. That's all. What's the matter?
I'm going to Naples, David, tonight.
You mean I've at last succeeded in doing the wrong thing?
It's no use. I can't go on pretending.
Pretending?
Pretending that after tonight or tomorrow or in another week, two friends will say goodbye. Nice to have met you, had a happy time, and go their our separate way.
Oh, Benina.
I can't stay, David. I'm falling in love with you.
I never wanted to hear anything so much in my life. It isn't our fault that we met.
But it would be our fault if we stayed together. You have a wife and your own life, and I'm afraid I've always wanted all or nothing. I don't want just a few stolen hours, and you're not free.
Well, I thought I was, but it was going to be. When I left for Europe, we decided on a divorce.
Well, then, let's make it right. If and when you're free, we can start all over again.
3 days ago, I could have asked you to marry me. Today, I can't. When you first saw me in the travel office, this is the letter I was reading. Just the last part.
Now I know I cannot give you the divorce you asked for. I was too hurt and too proud to refuse, so I agreed at the time. I realize your feeling for me is no longer what it used to be. We have too many things in common to break apart now. More than anything, I'm thinking of our son. Don't forget that we do have a son. She loves you, too, and she's loved you a lot longer than I have.
Nina, just loving somebody isn't enough. We never made each other happy. Isn't that important?
I can't think like that. She's your wife, and I'm not. What time does the steamer leave for Naples?
10 o'clock.
Corriere di Napoli.
Prego.
Grazie, signorina.
Grazie.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Just thought to catch up in the news. Coffee's coming. What did you find out?
Pretty good chance of getting 2 seats on tomorrow's plane. They're checking with Rome. I have to go back in half an hour. If everything goes all right, we ought to be in New York tomorrow night.
It's hard for me to imagine after so many years walking up Fifth Avenue.
Know many people in New York?
A few. Let's find out what's been happening in the world while we've been away. Atchison made a speech in Washington, Bevan in London.
Well, they say.
I've no idea, but Russia says no. Hurricane in the Philippines, revolution in Bolivia, plane lost in the Mediterranean, 32 passengers and crew 6.
Don't be alarmed. According to statistics, it's safer to fly than stay home.
David, it's our plane, the one we missed. Look. All hope abandoned after 2 days' search. List of those missing on page 3. Florence, David, New York.
Here you are.
Don't they check the passenger list?
They did check us once. Must have happened between here and Madrid before they noticed our absence. They left the cable immediately. Waiter! How many do you want?
2. One for my agent and one for my music teacher in Florence. I've no families, and the others will find out soon enough.
I only need one.
Finito. As Mark Twain said, the reports of my death are greatly exaggerated.
Nina, wait.
No, David, don't say it.
You thought it too.
You know what we're thinking's impossible.
Why? To the world, we're dead. Out of millions of people, we're the only ones who have this chance.
Would we be happier? It would be so terribly cruel to the others.
4 days they've given us up. It's a miracle that we're here. We're only alive because we wanted to be together.
David, I'm frightened. Not so much for myself, but what I'd be giving up wouldn't be very important. But you, they need you.
I wouldn't be honest if I went back now feeling the way I do. You saw her letter. She'll never give me a divorce. We'd live like strangers the rest of our lives.
You have a son.
Oh, he doesn't need me. I was always too busy. He was away at school. Next year he goes to college, and then he takes my place at the plant. He'll have a fine life. I was younger when I lost my father.
Perhaps they don't need you, but are you sure that you won't need them?
I only want you. All right, I'm selfish. This time I'm thinking of myself.
You know you're wrong.
I only know that fate has saved us from death and is offering us a new life. Wonderful, happy life. The only question we must answer is, do we love each other? If you have the slightest doubt about that, sign my name to the cable and send it.
isn't this perfectly beautiful?
There's not so many villas like this in Florence. This is magnifico.
Look, I can pick your oranges for breakfast right there.
You said you wanted something secluded and peaceful, huh? Ecco, you have it here. From this terrazza, you can see Florence as the swallows see it on their journey to the south.
In another minute, he's going to break out into Hostel Mio.
And down there flows the Arno. Just look at it.
La llave, don't start with la llave, no, but... Oh, ah. Now, if you want to see inside, come on in. Prego.
Well,
It's big, immense, no? Yeah. Antique, all paintings.
May I take a seat?
Sure, it's all yours.
how many rooms?
Plenty.
How many baths?
More than enough. Now I'll show you the kitchen and the wine cellar. What vintage?
Anita? Nina?
David.
Nina? What?
David, where are you? Oh, it's all so unreal, isn't it?
We'll get used to it. Do you want to live here?
Yes,
How
please,
long?
David. Oh, indefinitely.
I hope that means forever.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Signor Lorenzo! Signor, where are you?
Good morning, Mr. Morrison.
Good morning, Jim. Did you give Mrs. Lawrence my message?
She's expecting you, sir.
Hello, David.
Good morning, Charles.
How's your mother?
Well, she's all right. She's a little too brave for my benefit, I'm afraid. If she'd only let herself cry, she'd feel better.
I agree with you. Where is she?
In Dad's room. From your message, I gather that you had something urgent to say.
Well, it's not really urgent.
If it's something disturbing, I wish you'd tell me instead of her. I'm old enough to handle it.
Well, I believe you are, but this is something between Catherine and myself.
Come in. I'm in here.
Morning, Catherine.
Charles, I asked Jim to pack David's things, but I've changed my mind. I don't want to give them away. Not yet. I can finish this later. Let's go in the other room.
I just met David Jr. outside. He's a wonderful boy.
I'm lucky to have him, especially now.
Catherine, do you mind if I ask a personal question?
Of course not, Charles. You're my lawyer.
Was your marriage happy?
For a long time it was. Why?
Well, something's come up I don't understand. Do you know anyone by the name of Maria Salvatini? Or did David ever mention her?
No. Not that I can remember.
That's what I thought. You see, David had a special account set aside for charity. A check for a very large sum has been drawn against it, payable to this woman.
Someone he met in Italy?
Probably.
When was the check dated?
2 days before the accident. The signature is genuine. I saw it myself. As your lawyer, I must advise you that you have the right to stop payment.
It's David's money. He earned it. It was his wish. It should be paid.
Very well, my dear.
You asked me if our marriage was happy. No, it wasn't. Not recently. David changed a great deal in the past few years. Everything that was home to me had become a prison to him. He said perhaps after 18 years people should set each other free to find out if they still loved each other. But otherwise, marriage would end up being a contract, nothing more.
He wanted a divorce.
Yes. I promised I'd give it to him, but I couldn't. In my last letter, I told him, my marriage was my life. I couldn't experiment with my life. Was I selfish, Charles, to try to hold on to him?
You have nothing to reproach yourself for, Catherine.
Oh, I'm not so sure. Maybe I lacked faith in David. Maybe I should have given him his freedom. Maybe he would have come back to me. I was afraid of losing him.
He was on his way back.
Yes, but was he coming back to fulfill a contract? Or to insist on the divorce? Now I'll never know. What was that woman's name again?
Maria Salvatini. She lives in Florence. Do you want me to find out more about her?
Oh, no. No. Not now, anyway. I have a lot of time, Charles.
Aspetta qui, Riccardo.
Sì, signora Sabatini.
Attento alla ruota che non inizia! Non riguardarti, piano! Riguardarti, piano!
Signora Salvatini, how are you?
Fine. I thought you were an engineer, not as Raymond.
Well,
So this is your Shangri-La.
yes, how do you like it?
You need a compass to find it. But that's what you want, obviously. Where's my Nina?
She's in the house. Oh, don't tell her about the piano. It's supposed to be a surprise.
A surprise? I could hear you a mile away. Crazy Americano.
Ciao, ma che
Aspetta, prego.
Qui,
al cammino.
Ma sei proprio impertinente.
Grazie. Maria! Oh, you weren't supposed to be here until tomorrow. Oh, everything's still in an awful mess.
Being a woman and unpredictable, I came today. What's that?
Oh, that's Bianca. She comes from a little village. Doesn't know anyone in Florence. Those are her children. And she doesn't speak a word of English.
Very efficient. You've only been dead a week and already you have an unreachable house and an unspeakable servant. Perfect.
Oh, everything's perfect, except the view, which is more than perfect. Come, look, there's all of Florence.
So you're giving up your concert. Years of work tossed overboard.
David's now tossing everything overboard.
And you call this a new life? To me, it's a suicide pact.
You didn't say that when we arrived.
I was so happy you were alive that I couldn't think clearly. Now I can. Not because I'm wiser than you and David, but because I've lived a little longer. It won't work, Manina. What you're doing is selfish, cowardly, and wrong. A poor foundation for happiness.
Cowardly because we have the courage to start again, or selfish because we don't want to hurt anyone, or wrong because we're happy.
How long will this happiness last?
As long as we love each other. And have you for a friend. David,
You didn't know I was a singer?
It's not your key. Try it in G flat.
Prego. David, what a beautiful piano. Oh, thank you.
On one condition, that you promise not to practice too much.
It's a deal.
Grazie. Grazie.
Auguri, arrivederci, signore.
He has charm, even though I don't approve of him.
And so kind and thoughtful.
Thoughtful? I don't care what you do, Manina, as long as you're not fooling yourself.
I want you to know that when I was a boy of 6, I had a voice like Lilliput. What is it?
Nothing. The bank called me this morning to say the check went through.
Good.
Now you can start your brave new life, well provided by the old one. But what if someone in New York wonders why you made me such an unusually generous gift, huh?
My wife would never question that.
No? She sounds like a splendid woman. But even so, what about paper? Passports?
Our passports are good for a couple of years yet.
Bianca solved the name question. She insists on calling him Signor Lorenzo.
And if Il Signor Lorenzo runs into an old friend who knows him?
Very simple. Grow a beard on the spot.
Oh, I give up. I knew this visit would be useless. At least I got it off my chest.
You wouldn't be my old Maria if you hadn't.
Well, you'll make me work if I stay. I'd better go.
Bye-bye. I'll call you.
See you to the gate.
Well, if I find my way in, I can certainly find my way out. Goodbye.
Bye. Has she been upsetting you?
Of course not. She's the best friend I have.
But we're starting a new life, but it won't work unless we're absolutely honest. We mustn't lie ever, even for the sake of not hurting each other. Promise?
I love you so.
Silenzio! Uscite fuori! Ma chi vi ha detto di venire qua? Ma quante volte vi devo dire che voi non dovete entrare poco la settimana?
Oh, Bianca, non sgridare. Let them have their fun. It's too nice today.
Ma chi vi ha detto di venire qua?
There, Treno Finito. That's Gramola. What caused the riot?
Oh, just youthful exuberance.
Well, you wear glasses.
Uh-oh. Last secret is out only when I'm reading.
Oh, put them on.
Hmm?
Put them back on. Come here. If I were you, I think I'd give up reading.
A man with a porcelain cap and his front tooth is in no position to demand perfection.
No.
How would you like to read the news instead of just guessing at it?
The New York Times?
Only 2 days old.
September the 5th. Well, September the 5th. Well, 10% of those future. Where'd you get it?
From Bianca. She's a new subscriber. What does September the 5th mean to you?
Remove your glasses. As long as you continue to shower me with presents, everything will be all right.
You remind me of a Shetland pony my father bought for me once.
Was he handsome?
No, but he was my first recollection of complete happiness.
Any other recollections?
Oh, lots, but one that happened right here in Florence, oddly enough. I won a scholarship to the Royal Conservatory, and Maria and I went to a darling little restaurant and celebrated.
Full of tourists, the restaurant?
Not as I remember.
You think you could find it again?
We can probably see it from here.
Well, let's drink up and go.
Good idea. May I conduct you on a cook's tour of Florence?
You have a willing slave for a tourist. Lead on.
There it is, the beautiful city of Florence, named for the flowers. Nothing's changed since the days of the Medicis.
This is the third of the famous 3 golden doors of the Battistero, the old Cathedral of Florence. When Michelangelo first saw it, he remarked that this door was worthy of forming the entrance to paradise.
He's stealing your stuff, but he's not as pretty as you are.
It's by Michelangelo. He's called David, like all great men. And over there's the restaurant.
Questo antipasto è straordinario. Soltanto l'odore li fa venire l'appetito. E dopo faremo spaghetti alla bolognese.
Oh, Fontaine.
Oh, do, it's his speciality.
Ma certamente spaghetti alla bolognese sono i migliori spaghetti del mondo e poi se li mangia lei me li mangio io.
Wasn't I right about this place?
Just like Greenwich Village.
Oh. David, what happened on the 5th of September?
Why?
When I have my glasses on, I can't be fooled.
My son's birthday.
Well, let's have a drink to him.
This wine reminds me of that little tavern in Naples.
Wish they had an old phonograph.
That's where we really discovered each other, isn't it? September Sound. Go on, play it for me.
Not in front of all these people.
Come on, you've played to large audiences than this.
Right.
They'd refuse me with tossing curls. I'd let the old earth take a couple of whirls. By finding years a place of pearls. And as time came around, she came my way. And as time came around, she came. But it's a long, long while from May to December, and the days grow short when you reach September, and the autumn weather turns the leaves to flame, and I haven't got time for the waiting game. Oh, the days dwindle down to a precious few. September, November, and these few precious days I'll spend with you. These precious days I'll spend with you.
Go ahead. Sit down.
I didn't mean to horn in, sir, but when I heard that song, I knew you were American.
You have a very nice voice.
Yes.
Oh, gee, it's nice to see someone from home. I'm stationed in Trieste. Very few Americans there. Have to be back tomorrow.
3-day pass?
Oh, no, sir, a whole week. I got a break. I thought. I've never seen so many statues in my life.
Doesn't sound as though you've had a very good time.
Sure.
Well, ma'am, this is how I figured. My other leaves I spent on amusement, so on this one I thought I'd do something educational. And I'm not sorry. Except I wish I had a few more days. Well, anyway, it was nice meeting you folks.
Where are you going?
Back to the bar.
Oh, you with someone?
No.
Why don't you join us?
Yes, please do.
Sit down. Had your dinner?
Oh, yes, thanks. Carlotta wanted to come with me, but I said to myself, what's the use of bringing an Italian chick to Florence? It's like carrying coal to Newcastle. No, I'm sorry I didn't. You can freeze to death in Newcastle. Oh. This is Carlotta. She's a terrific kid. Well-built, long hair, just the way I like.
Is the other one your sister?
Oh, no, that's Susie, my girl in Cedar Falls. That's my hometown, Cedar Falls, Iowa. Excuse me, ma'am. You aren't going at that spaghetti right.
I'm not?
No, there's a trick to it. Just spear some with your fork like this and give it a twist. You ought to see my girlfriend eat this stuff.
The one from Ohio.
No, Iowa. I mean Colorado. Susie eats corn on the cob.
It's like Drake.
Oh, yes, thanks.
Wait, don't you?
That's right, sir. That's right. Everything's okay now, but what'll I do in 2 months when I get out of the service? I'm nuts about them both.
Johnny, you simply can't be in love with 2 women at the same time.
That's what everybody keeps telling me, but I can. I promised Colorado I'd take her back to the States, but when I show up with her, what'll Susie say? I'm in an awful mess.
Cheer up, Johnny. You'd feel much worse if no one loved you.
You don't get the point, Manita. Johnny's serious. He wants to talk to someone so he can make up his mind. We're making progress.
Definitely.
Now, when you're out with Carlotta, you really happy?
Oh, it's just like floating on a pink cloud. Then I get a letter from Susie, and I wish I had a parachute.
Well, you just got to make your choice.
That's just the trouble.
Another step forward. Oh, David, it's after midnight and they want us to leave.
Gee, my train leaves in an hour. I'm in a bad enough jam now without being AWOL. Anyway, you were a great help, even if you couldn't explain to me why a man can't love 2 women.
Buonanotte e buon riposo.
This place sure closes early. Any other places open around?
Good night, Johnny. Good luck to you.
So long, ma'am. It's been lots of fun. Thanks, sir.
Johnny?
Talking to you is sort of like being home again, talking to my dad.
Everything's going to work itself out all right.
Yes, sir. If it doesn't, I can always join the Navy.
That kid'll never get that train. You think I ought to see him aboard?
I'll go home. You take him to the station.
I'll be right along.
Good night, David.
Oh, my.
Hey, Johnny, wait for me.
There. And the Angelo play.
Johnny!
Never seldom as hard, but it's scourging word.
Hey, Johnny!
Statues everywhere.
I like statues.
We got one in Cedar Falls, brand new. General Grant on a horse with water squirting out from everywhere. 1, 2, 3. 3 o'clock. Time for another little smile for the road.
No, sir. No, sir.
No?
We've missed the first train. We've missed the second train. We're not going to miss the last train.
Why? Why not miss it?
Because I'm the guy who's always responsible. Now, come on.
No offense, Dave. But you remind me of my mother.
Fine.
She's responsible, too.
Come along.
Well, they fly.
Good morning.
Good morning. What are you doing up so early?
I was sleeping like a lamb until I heard the gate scraping.
I was proving the roses.
Oh, thank you.
Incidentally, you look perfectly beautiful even at this unholy hour.
And you look like a man who could do with some coffee. It's practically ready.
Practically there. You always make coffee in your sleep.
It's an old family tradition. Johnny get off all right?
After considerable detouring, you should have been with her.
Oh, there are times when a lady should go home and make coffee.
Another old family tradition?
Mm-hmm. Is the corporal's problem all straightened out?
Oh, certainly. All he needed was a little fatherly advice.
Who won?
Who do you think?
I have no idea.
Guess.
Susie?
Hands down. All Johnny loves really is that farm in Iowa and home and all that goes with it. Susie.
David, I want to ask you something. Please tell me the truth. Are you sure that you don't regret anything? When I saw you with Johnny, I suddenly felt how much you must miss your son and all the things you've given up. Are you sure we've made the right choice? Please tell me. I want to know. Don't ever leave me, please don't.
Do you really like the new plans, Mother?
I think they're fine.
Well, then I'll leave them with you. I'll call you later.
Good.
Few more signatures.
Oh.
Now another.
Good heavens, how many more?
That's what happens when the president of a large company decides to take a vacation.
You approve of my trip?
You should give yourself more time to accept what must be accepted. But if you really want to go, Italy is as beautiful a country as there is. Is the boy happy that you're taking him with you?
Oh, he'd be very cross if he heard you say that. He's taking me. He really is a man now. Someone I can trust and depend on.
I think you're right. Thank you. I'll run along now.
Goodbye, Charles.
Goodbye. Tell me, are you going to see that Salvatini woman in Florence?
I'm right. That unanswered question still torments me. Why did David decide to come home? Perhaps she can give me the answer.
Does your son know about her?
Yes, he's very much against my seeing her.
He's probably right.
Yes, probably.
Pietro! Mario! Hey, Pietro! Mario! Pietro! Mario!
Ma che lo devi fare? Come fai a non fare una cosa? Sì, ma che lo devi fare? Ma io non ho detto che non sono al fuoco, è uno stupido.
Non è così.
Io non posso mettere quello là perché quello lì è...
Ma lui mi fa arrabbiare quando mi rompe la testa quello là. È giusto, però la fate di quello là, com'è che lui che parla così?
Excuse me, Mr. American? Yeah, can I give you a hand? I've had a little experience with these gadgets.
Well, maybe you can help us. I ordered a Model B.
Well, this is not a Model B. They sent you a Model E.
Oh, capito.
Look, take her up. We can change these bolts in the base and have her pumping in no time.
Stop that. Outside.
Where is this gay Lothario of yours?
Oh, taking a walk?
Alone?
No, with the children.
Of course. He wouldn't want to be alone. He might have to think.
Maria, you seem to have a fixed idea that we're destined to be unhappy. But I've told you 100 times
and yourself 1,000 times, no doubt. You know why you're irritable?
No. Why?
Because he's irritable.
That's understandable. It's a new life for both of us, and we have to get used to it.
You're wrong, Manina. This is no life for either of you.
Il signor Lorenzo è arrivato.
At least he's still coming home.
Go get dinner.
Oh, you're just in time for dinner. How about a drink?
Fine. Hello, Maria.
Hello. I was just making my weekly inspection tour.
Why don't you make it daily? We missed you. I'll get the drink.
I'm disappointed. He seems completely happy.
He wasn't that way this morning. David, where have you been?
Down by the river. I ran into an old love of mine today.
Did she recognize you?
Well, she couldn't. She was hanging in the air.
What? Most men at some time in their lives have a weakness for acrobats.
This was a turbine from my own factory. Look.
I had no idea your factory was so large.
Well, that's only the administration building. The machine shops and railroad yards, warehouses out and back. This is my office, way up high there with windows.
Doesn't it make you homesick?
Oh, no, I've spent enough time there. That should ruin your day. Shipping department had sent them the wrong model. They were having a terrible time with it, but I gave them a hand. It's working all right now. Even got paid. The young engineer in charge gave me a drink of wine. I had a wonderful day.
Because of the turbine or because of the wine?
Neither, because of a big idea. I got to thinking of the river out there and the miles of barren land and the poverty and what could be done with turbines and dams. The way we did in California and Tennessee.
Why don't you get in touch with your young engineer?
He gave me his card. I'm going to write him a note. Maybe you'll mail it for me on the way home.
You have a rival.
Don Quixote fought windmills. I can fight turbines.
You seem to forget. Don Quixote lost his battle.
Avante, Pietro.
Okay, boss.
Well, this whole thing is approximate with the scale, Signor Bettini.
Except where I leaned against the mountain.
To build a dam, one would have to divert the river.
Well, we blast 2 diversion tunnels through Rock'em Mountain like we did on the Colorado River right here.
Rock'em Mountain is volcanic. Loose rocks. Cutting a tunnel creates slides.
Well, we had a similar problem at Grand Coulee, and we solved it by sinking refrigeration pipes into the mountain and temporarily freezing it solid. We could pour concrete into these slopes to hold them.
It is amazing. We leave mountains and rivers where God put them.
We move them where they do the most good.
Just think how much work could have been saved if the world had been created by an engineer.
This entire region is now semi-arid. It could be made prosperous and fertile and self-supporting. Just an idea, but who knows? Someday something might happen to it. Would you care to help me?
I would be honored. I have to go to Rome for 2 weeks. But when I come back, I will be at your disposal.
Thank you.
Arrivederci. Arrivederci, signor.
Arrivederci.
Well, there's so much to do on this, but I can't until those technical books arrive.
Oh, they should be here soon. Maria sent for them the day you asked her. And in the meantime, do you think you could spare a couple of minutes to look at me?
No, we'd better turn off the river, Arno.
Four grounds is all.
Close the locks, Mario.
Aspetta. Appartamenti di Maria Salvatini?
Sì, sì, al terzo piano, a sinistra. Sentirete la musica, non potete sbagliare. A sinistra, di là.
Yeah, grazie.
Prego.
Oh, that was a mistake. But I'll find it.
Another cup? Oh, for the first time in your life, you've played like a matured artist. And what have you got to say? Another cup? Oh, you bourgeois.
I didn't play to get your opinion. I just wanted to show you that I've been practicing.
Oh, you must go on. You must go to New York and play your concert. I'll write to Grazia. I know you'll be a success.
Painters and poets can gain fame after death, but not pianists.
It's time you give up this ridiculous ghost life and take your place in the world.
I've made my choice. I don't want a career. I've never been happy.
Ah, women, what fools we are. We discover radium, swim the channel, fly the Pacific, even paint our fingernails, all to get a man. What is it?
C'è fuori una signora, Catherine Lawrence. Desidera di parlarvi.
I knew this would happen. I knew one day she'd come here and ask questions. Questions I don't know how to answer. Go through this door, quick. The book. David's books. Take them.
She doesn't know who I am.
Go, I tell you.
I want to see her.
You're incorrigible. Fai entrare la signora.
Sì, signora. Prego, signora. La signora Lawrence? Mrs. Salvatini?
I am Maria Salvatini.
Oh, I beg your pardon. I hope I'm not disturbing you.
Not at all. I'm very happy to meet you, Mrs. Lawrence. We were just having tea. Won't you join us?
Oh, you're very kind.
Please get another cup, my dear.
Your daughter?
In a way. We adopted each other years ago. She studies piano with me.
She's lovely. Hello.
Hello.
Think of it. Mrs. Lawrence has never been to Venice. It's only 1 hour by air.
I know, but my son and I planned to visit the places my husband did before he died.
And that's why you came to see me.
Lemon or cream? Cream with no sugar, please.
You're probably wondering how I became the object of your husband's great generosity.
Oh, please, madame. My visit had nothing to do with that. My son begged me not to come here. He was afraid I'd be hurt even more. But I couldn't leave without having talked to you.
Is that your son outside?
Yes.
Oh, perhaps he would like to have a cup of tea.
I don't think so, thank you. We must leave in a moment.
I'm sorry I can't tell you more about your husband.
You don't have to, really. I've learned a great deal just from meeting you. You see, I'd imagined you differently.
You mean younger?
When David left for Europe, he wasn't very happy. His life had become a tiresome obligation to him. His work, even his home. He seemed to be searching for something, another kind of life. When I heard your name, I thought he'd found it.
You're a very unusual person, Mrs. Lawrence. Most women couldn't bear the idea of someone taking away their men, even for a day.
I was that kind of woman. When David was alive.
Mrs. Lawrence.
Do you know why he suddenly decided to come back to America? He had intended to stay longer.
I'm afraid I don't.
If I could be sure that he took that plane of his own accord, and not because of a letter I wrote him, I wouldn't have this horrible feeling of being responsible. I have so much to be grateful for. A wonderful son, a name I'm proud of, independence. I have everything, except peace of mind.
I wish I could give you the answer you so want to hear, but I can't.
I thank you for your kindness.
I'll see you to the door.
No, please don't bother.
Goodbye, Mrs. Lawrence.
Goodbye. And forgive me for the interruption.
In my whole life, I've never been so ashamed. Liars and cheats. That's what we are.
Please, Maria, don't make it worse for me.
For you? You want me to pity you because you had to spend a few embarrassing minutes? It's not you I feel sorry for. It's her.
Why did she go back on her word? Why didn't she give David the freedom he asked for? Now that she thinks he's dead, it's easy to be generous. But if she knew the truth, she'd be just as selfish as before.
Manina, this woman is David's wife.
And she made him miserable. And I'm making him happy.
Do you really believe that?
Yes, I do. We are happy. And he loves me, and I love him. And nothing will ever part us.
Now, I do feel sorry for you.
Mother,
Yes, son?
I think Father is alive.
What? What do you mean?
Look.
Miss Manina Stewart. But I just met her.
Yes, it all came to me when I saw her. It explains the check. Father didn't give the money to Salvatini. He needed it here.
He's alone. Thank God. Thank God.
Well, where have you been?
Maria's.
Missed you.
Your books came from London.
Oh, good. Now I can really get at it.
David.
Just as I thought. Now I know it'll work. Yeah. There's no doubt. I'm sorry, darling. When it comes to work, I'm a monomaniac. I always have been. I shouldn't have left you alone so often. I'll make it up to you. How about having dinner tonight at that little place where we met Johnny?
I don't want to go into town, not tonight.
All right. How about having dinner out here with candles, moonlight, and mosquitoes? Hmm? What's the matter? Maria been at it again?
No, it's not Maria.
Must be me.
It's both of us. David, we've tried to build a wall around us. So high that even the birds couldn't get in, but it could never be high enough.
That's right. Maria could always fly over it on her broomstick.
We've never really been alone here, the two of us. Well, there was Johnny and then your work, and now it's...
Now what?
Well, I played the Rachmaninoff concerto for Maria. She wants me to go to New York.
You want to go?
No. But it's a great temptation. You gave up your work after you'd made your success, and I gave it up before.
That's right. I never thought of it that way.
Oh, David, promise me something. That if I ever make you unhappy, that you must leave me.
I promise. That'll never happen.
Buonasera, buonasera.
What are you doing here? I thought you were in Rome.
Just arrived. I have good news.
Senor Fortunio.
Senor, good news is exactly what we need to hear. Sit down and tell us all about it.
In Rome yesterday, I talked to the representative of the European Recovery Program. I could not resist the opportunity to mention your project.
What was his reaction?
Very anxious to meet you. If it is convenient, we can go to Rome tomorrow.
What's his name?
Duncan. George Duncan. Know him?
George Duncan? I don't believe so.
Wonderful man. Quick mind.
Before you go any further, Mr. Bottini, I think I ought to tell you I went into this project thoroughly and Well, certain difficulties seem insurmountable.
But you said yourself there are no difficulties that cannot be overcome.
I was too optimistic in my first enthusiasm. I got some books and checked, and it can't be done. At least I can't do it. It's too big a job. I don't want to get involved. Besides, well, I came here to rest, not to work.
Signora, please, perhaps you can convince him. It is so important.
Sorry, Signor Lorenzo makes his own decisions.
I beg you to reconsider. All Mr. Duncan wants is to talk to you.
I know. Once you get into this sort of thing, you can't pull out. I've had experience with government jobs, plenty of headaches and red tape and very little money. It's not worth it.
Bringing prosperity to an entire region is not worth it, Signor.
Yes, but not for me. I've worked enough. I'm sorry, Fortini, to put you on a spot. I hope you understand.
Perfectly. There's not enough money in government jobs. Signora?
You didn't have to do that. David, what is it?
Well, George Duncan and I worked together in Washington during the war. He's also a member of the Bay Shore Country Club. Well, that's that. At least the children had fun with the model.
Couldn't you draw up the plans and let Fortini carry them out? You could stay in the background.
No, that's impossible. A project like this calls for a man with connections and friends who trust his judgment. He'd have to go to Washington and talk to senators and pull strings. A man who could call on the experience and success of a lifetime.
A man like you?
Yes.
Oh, there must be a way.
Well, there isn't, so please, let's not mention it again.
Miss Stewart is here. Very well. Room 127, second floor.
You really don't want me to go with you?
I'd rather you didn't. I'd sit here.
Come in.
I'm Menina Stewart.
I know. I'm David Lawrence, Jr.
How do you do?
Mother isn't in.
Well, I can come back later.
Afraid there won't be time. We're leaving in a couple of hours.
Then I'd better wait. Could I sit down?
Please do. If you came here to tell her that my father is alive, you're bringing us no news.
Yes, that's why I came.
It wasn't difficult to figure out once we saw you. Your picture was in the papers after the crash.
Oh, I see.
Does my father know that we're here?
No, I didn't tell him.
We didn't think you would.
If your mother knows he's alive, why is she leaving?
Guess she didn't see any point in staying. She's written a letter to Father. Was just about to deliver to Madame Salvatini. We weren't sure that Madame Salvatini would forward it to him.
Of course she would. If you want me to, I'll give it to him.
I believe you will. Thank you. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must finish packing.
David.
Yes, Miss Stewart?
I've no right to ask anything of you, but I beg of you, don't judge your father too quickly. Don't hate him. Try to understand.
I always loved my father. He was a wonderful man. He died when his plane crashed into the sea. I'll miss him the rest of my life.
No, don't say that. He's alive and he loves you and he speaks of you often.
My father is dead, and I'll never see him again. Goodbye, Miss Stewart.
Questa terra dell'amore
la forza di lasciare.
Ah, buonasera signore e signorina. Sono molto contento di averli con noi un'altra volta. Sarò con loro in un minuto.
Non darmi sto tormento, torna Sorrento, non farmi morire.
Bella Sorrento, Bella Napoli, Bella Roma. They've got a song for every town. Imagine me singing Old Bella Dubuque. What's the matter? You seem preoccupied.
David, I've just seen your wife and your son, and they know everything.
When did they get here?
I met your wife yesterday at Maria's. My picture was in the New York papers after the accident.
Well, it's amazing, isn't it, what excellent detectives' wives make without any previous experience? Why didn't you tell me last night?
I was too upset.
But she arrives, finds out, goes. It isn't like Catherine.
Like the Catherine that you told me about. She wrote you a letter. I wanted you to read it before they left.
I'd like to read this to you.
Maybe you shouldn't.
It concerns you as much as it does me. Dear David, it's hard to describe my emotions since finding out that you're alive. I've tried to feel hurt and angry and jealous, but my overwhelming happiness, my deep gratitude to God, has erased all such petty thoughts. You're free, David. I'm returning to America to go through with the divorce. Even that seems unimportant now compared to my great joy. She signed a Kitty. She hasn't done that in years.
She must love you very much.
Well, the walls have tumbled down. The prisoners are free.
Yes, we're free. We can live again. That's what we wanted, isn't it?
I've rather become used to you as a fellow ghost.
But we're not ghosts anymore. We can't run away from life any longer, and we don't want to, do we?
That's right. We can do whatever we want. What'd you think of my son? Quite a fellow, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Wish I could have seen him. What'd he say when he found out his old man was still kicking?
He said that he loved you and you'd been a wonderful father, and he missed you terribly.
I missed him, too. I can tell you that now. I missed him more than anything.
You should have told me.
How could I?
I guess we both broke our promise more than once.
Well, it's all over now. Everything's wonderful. You can go and play your concert. I go to Washington.
Funny, when we first met, we were on our way to America. We're still on our way.
Well, this calls for champagne. Waiter.
Teeny, here are the maps. Send me a photographic survey of this entire region.
Where's your address in New York, senor?
I won't be in New York. Send it to the Mayflower Hotel in Washington.
We better hurry. It takes more than a half hour to the airport.
We'll make it. There's just one more thing.
What is it?
You didn't listen.
Yes, I did. You played the Andante from there to there.
Why are you going to America? To play a concert or to see that David gets back?
David doesn't need a chaperone. I'm going to fulfill an engagement that I've looked forward to ever since I can remember. And I'll play the Andante the way you want me to. And I'll do the best I can, and I'll try to be a credit to you.
I'm sure you will, my child. But even if things don't turn out the way you hope, don't lose heart. Remember, you're young. There'll be other engagements after this one. And I have no doubt that you'll find the success and happiness you deserve.
Oh, Maria, thank you for everything.
Time to go.
Signor Portini, would you be my cane? I left it in the taxi.
Your cane is right here, Senora.
Then help me to carry it.
We haven't even said goodbye to our house.
Never thought we'd see it looking like this again.
Let's say goodbye to the view. Leaves are turning yellow.
Oh, grazie. Oh, Bianca. Arrivederci, Flora.
Bianca.
Signor Fontaine.
Forgive me?
Oh, give me a kiss and be quick about it.
Bye.
Maria. Goodbye, my dear.
Meaning over there.
And remember what I told you. The andante very slow. Goodbye.
Arrivederci. Arrivederci. Buon viaggio. Vengono. Arrivederci, signora.
If he succeeds in Washington, I know who we can thank.
Who?
His wife. She made him change his mind.
You don't know how right you are, my friend.
Excuse me, sir. Would you mind exchanging seats with me? This lady and I are traveling together.
Sorry, mister. Never change seats on a plane. Bad luck. Sorry, honey.
You're right, it's Capri.
Now we can get off, folks. Check for all your parcels.
Sorry about the seat, honey, but you see it worked. 9 o'clock, right on the nose.
Excited?
Little?
My agent will be waiting for me. I'll have to see him. I'll meet you at the customs.
You'll find your luggage in the customs office under the initial of your last name.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Hold it right there.
Miss Stewart had just arrived from a very strenuous trip. She must rehearse. Have a little patience, boy.
How did you know I was coming?
We've been friends for a good many years, and I thought I knew you well, but I didn't.
You mean because you can't understand why?
Oh, it's easy enough to understand. You were tired of your marriage, your duties. You ran away to Europe and, well, took a vacation. I grant you, your emotions were probably strong and sincere, but there's no vacation from decency.
Excuse me, where are you going?
I have a rehearsal in an hour.
I'll take you. Sorry, Miss Stewart cannot be disturbed until after her concert.
Nina, I've got to see you.
I'll see you at the concert hall.
Miss Stewart,
One
where
more
are you
thing,
staying?
Miss Stewart. Where are you going from here?
Wait here. Catherine,
David,
I wanted to see you.
I hoped you would.
No, don't turn it on. I can see all right. I wanted to thank you for your kindness and understanding. How's David?
He's fine. He enrolled at Columbia University last week.
I'd like to see him before I leave.
You're going away?
Washington, working on a new project. Biggest thing I ever tackled.
Well, that's wonderful.
Well, it's what I need now, work. Catherine, I don't want to tell you any lies. I don't know yet what the truth is myself. Thank you for your letter and for signing it, Kitty.
Write me, David.
I will. Thanks for not asking me anything.
It's good to see you, Dad.
Thanks.
I wanted to go to the airport, but I wasn't here when the cable arrived. Is it true? Are you really coming home?
I don't know, David. I need time to find myself. Bye, boy.
See you soon, Dad.
Oh, what a magnificent reception you have from the audience.
Did you really like it?
Absolutely wonderful, Menina.
I have Maria to thank for it all. But I'm glad it's all over.
Oh, no. They want you in Philadelphia tomorrow afternoon for rehearsals.
Could I see you for a moment, Mr. Grazia, please?
Of course.
Just be a minute.
Driver, you've taken the wrong turn. This is the International Airport.
That's right.
In case you've forgotten your geography, pal, Philadelphia is still inside USA.
I'm not going to Philadelphia, David.
You're not? Well, where are you going?
To South America.
Flight 201 for Rio de Janeiro and Buenos Aires. Now loading. How long will you be gone? 2 weeks, a month, 2 months, what?
I'm not sure, but
Why are you going? What's happened to us?
I wanted to go away before that. I wanted you to be the one to say goodbye first. It would be easier for you. Now let me finish. David, we tried to hide from the past, but our roots are there's yours and mine, and we can't help it. When I met Catherine and David, that was my goodbye. And when you read a letter and you told me how much you missed him, that was yours. Oh, I watched you. You had a look on your face I'd never seen before. You tried to hide it, but you couldn't. It's a great difference between seeing your son and being with him. Said many goodbyes after that. This is our last.
What we've had together mustn't be lost.
It won't be. We'll keep it alive in our hearts.
Even if all you say is true, we love each other.
But, David, our love was built on deception. It had to end. Perhaps if you asked me, I'd stay, but you know it would be wrong, so don't ask me if you love me.
Passengers for Flight 201 for Rio de Janeiro and Buenos Aires will please go aboard